Alright, let's talk about Lioness and why this show is more than just another military drama. Here's the thing, when I first heard about the concept, I was immediately intrigued, but also skeptical. Shows about female soldiers often fall into the trap of either glorifying them as invincible superheroes or reducing them to stereotypes. But Lioness, it's different. And a huge part of that is Jill Wagner's vision and Taylor Sheridan's execution. Personally, I think what makes this show stand out is its commitment to authenticity. It's not just about guns and explosions, it's about the human stories behind the uniforms. One thing that immediately stands out is Jill Wagner's personal connection to the project. She didn't just pitch an idea, she lived it. Her husband's military background, her family's legacy of service, and her own regret about not joining the military all fuel this show. What many people don't realize is that Lioness isn't just a TV series for her, it's a way to honor real women in the military. When she says, "They're out there sacrificing for our country, and they have really interesting stories to tell," it's not just a line, it's her truth. And that passion, it's palpable in every episode. Now, let's talk about Taylor Sheridan. The man is a powerhouse, no doubt, but what's fascinating is how Jill describes him as a creature of wonder. I love that phrase because it captures something essential about Sheridan. He's not just a writer or showrunner, he's a storyteller who builds worlds. When Jill says he states facts rather than opinions, it's a masterclass in how to handle complicated subject matter. He doesn't preach, he doesn't judge. He lays out the facts and lets the audience decide. In my opinion, that's what makes Lioness so compelling. It's not trying to tell you what to think, it's inviting you to feel. And let's not forget the characters. Bobby, played by Jill herself, is a standout. She's not your typical action hero. She's guarded, focused, and fiercely loyal. What makes this really interesting is how the show avoids giving her a love interest. Taylor Sheridan's reasoning, "Once I give someone a love interest, there's a crack in the armor," is brilliant. It's a bold choice that keeps Bobby's character intact. She's a machine, and that's what makes her so compelling. But here's where it gets even more fascinating: the relationship between Bobby and Joe McNamara, Zoe Saldana. These women aren't best friends grabbing brunch, they are sisters in arms with an unspoken trust. When Jill talks about their dynamic, you can tell she's thought deeply about it. Who are these women to each other, she asks. It's a question that adds layers to their characters and makes their bond feel real. Now, let's talk about the Season 3 premiere. Jill calls it her favorite episode, and I can see why. The battle zone sequence is harrowing, immersive, and brutally realistic. What this really suggests is that Sheridan isn't just telling a story, he's recreating a world. No green screens, no shortcuts. He builds it out, and that authenticity pays off. When Jill says, "It's not like these sets are a bunch of green screens," she's highlighting something crucial: this show respects its subject matter. Finally, let's zoom out for a second. Lioness isn't just a show about women in the military, it's a show about sacrifice, loyalty, and the human cost of service. What many people don't realize is that it's also a reflection of our times. The exploration of Russia's war in Ukraine in Season 3 isn't just topical, it's necessary. If you take a step back and think about it, Lioness is doing something rare in television. It's grounding its drama in reality, without losing sight of the personal stories at its core. So, here's my closing thought: Lioness is more than a show, it's a statement. It's a reminder that female soldiers aren't just characters, they are real people with real stories. And thanks to Jill Wagner and Taylor Sheridan, those stories are finally getting the treatment they deserve. Personally, I can't wait to see where this show goes next. What about you? Let me know in the comments, what do you think makes Lioness stand out? And if you haven't watched it yet, what are you waiting for?